Hello to you, my fellow Dark Ones. How are you guys doing today? How's life? Today we're going to start the episode in the basement and working on our machine room. Because in between the episodes, it's already nighttime. Yes, as I was saying, in between the episodes, I have been working around the base and I noticed that we're very short on some blocks, especially mud and dirt. And one more wonderful thing that I have discovered is that after the update, the Nether doesn't work. I can stay here for ages, nothing is going to happen. So that is going to cause a new problem cause I can't even teleport. But one stupid problem at a time, let us start with the machine room. I want to be able to set up some mechanism infrastructure. Yes, we do have a few machines, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about different gases and different fluids. Except Brian. The fluid. We do have entangled blocks, we have quantum entangloporters, so transferring gases and fluids is not going to be a problem. Producing them in a central location, therefore, is going to be very beneficial to us. And I think we do it here. Because, you know, we have tanks over here too. It is very difficult to explain what I have in mind, but let me set up something and I'll be right back. Oh my goodness, we ran into so many problems that I have no idea where to begin. Well, first off, by the idea that I had, this is what I meant. We're going to have a central location for producing gases from mechanism. For example, this is oxygen, this one is hydrogen, and this one is water vapor. Somebody once explained to me what is the difference between water vapor and steam, and I forgot. I have a garbage memory, so I'm sorry. In this way, we don't really have to place on an electrolytic separator wherever we need oxygen, we just have a central location for it. However, the problem that we have is very simple. I don't know if they have tweaked something in this mod pack or not, but the rotary condensator consumes 4000 RF, and with 6 speed upgrades. If I add 2 more, it's not even going to start working. Look, so our main issue is power, and we're only producing 42,000 RF per tick, and that's it. At Lash, you have access to power. Just spam more solar panels. Yeah, I really want to, but our blaze farm is in the Nether and we have no access to blazes. So we have to fix a few things before we can progress any further, and one of them is that we need a blaze farm. I don't really know which update is going to fix the issues and is it going to cause new issues or not. So we have to come up with alternative solutions. And that alternative solution is hostile neural networks. And yes, if the situation with the Nether is not fixed in the next 1 or 2 episodes, we might have to cheat some items in. I'm sorry, what can I do? Because I can get everything, I can't get isnium. Another very important thing is, if we cannot go to the Nether, how are we going to get blazes? Very good question. The gateway to eternity. Lord Ferdinand the Supreme. Where is he? Oh, it's a goat. Okay, we take it home. Join the other ones. Since we are going to spawn blazes, we're going to do this far away from home. We just need to set our data model. Hello? It's set, we kill you, and you go in. And FYI, that is the reason we did this far away from home. Everything burns. That is, quite a bit. So for those of you who don't know, the way that the hostile neural networks works is that it simulates the spawning of mobs and simulates the loots. Considering the fact that we have a lot of problems with lag in our world, that's actually very lag friendly as well. Basically, all you need to do is to make a deep learner, make a data model, right click on the mob that you want, kill a few of that mob, and you're going to get a data model for that mob. The data models, depending on their tier, are going to spawn mobs, and the higher the tier is, the higher the chances of a loot is. And the only tier which is not going to work inside your chambers and it's not going to be automatically updated is the faulty version, which is relatively easy, you just have to kill 6 mobs. Anyways, you are going to need a simulation chamber, the blaze data model goes in, and then you're going to need prediction matrices, and that also goes in. And voila, we have a 60% chance of success, and we got a blaze prediction. If that goes inside the loot fabricator, we can determine what kind of loot we want. We want blaze rods. And just like that, we get 10 blaze rods. And for automating this, we're going to use an export bus, and yes, I'm using the good ones from cable tiers. And what we want you to do is that we're going to give you a crafting upgrade with prediction matrices. You should craft it and put it inside the dimensional chest. By the way, if it's not very obvious, I had to make a new room under here. We have the same dimensional chest over here, we're extracting the matrices into the simulation chamber, and down here we're doing the rest with entangled blocks because I hate the wiring for that. Anything which is not a prediction matrix goes into our system, and by anything which is not a prediction matrix, I mean these guys. The predictions. They're actually very useful, you can craft different items with them, but in any case, anything which is the prediction goes inside the loot fabricator. And you know, the result just goes into our system again. I did place down the entangled blocks, but I don't think we're going to have more than 6 or 7 of these guys. However, that brings us to another problem. Quartz. My piglin farm no longer works, and create was supposed to be just a substitute. It cannot make like 50,000 quartz. So I think here's what we're going to do. We're going to get into mystical agriculture, and I have been checking. We have 222,000 inferium essence. I'm not really sure how we're getting them. Probably from mob farms. However, we hit another room. Okay, I was saying mystical agriculture is incredibly laggy, so what we're going to do is that we're going to use compact machines for each and every farm. For growing the mystical agriculture crops, we're going to use industrial foregoing, and for that, we need some liquid meat. This guy over here, and I'm sure I'm voiding the meat. Yeah, exactly, I am. We remove it. Actually, we should remove the trash. We have liquid meat. Great. Oh, and by the way, just to clarify, we are not going to go with power for power generation. I think we are going to go with deep resonance. But I might have to spam a few solar panels just to keep going. And yes, the items that we need for power are just going to be for the ender cells, ender gates, and cables. So I know what your question is. Where do we stand? I think our first order of business should be to make a master infusion crystal. Maybe 2 of them. Here is some Supremium and the infusion crystal. Perfect. This is refined storage, so it should be incredibly fast. Can we set up patterns? If I order 10, how long is it gonna take? Oh, you're one of those people. Okay, then we have to do it in a crafter. And quartz is a tier 3 seed. It's not expensive. Okay, I can do that manually. For now, later we have to automate it. That should be more than enough. Here is our altar, hopefully 8 pedestals. And obviously, let me start crafting everything. We're going to use a hopper, because I'm lazy. You know, I just made a hydroponic bed from industrial foregoing and realized we don't need liquid meat. It was just sewage. So the question is, can we plant it on top? Yes. For those of you who have not watched the Stoneblock series, this is essentially a farmland. You give it water, you give it ether gas, and apparently you can also give it upgrades, and it's going to grow crops incredibly fast. All of my cables are glitched. They work, it's just that it doesn't show anything. So let us give it a test. A bucket of water, a bucket of ether gas. Well, it does not take it from a bucket, so we have to use the tank. I just want to see how it works. So we plant you. Nothing happens, but it's growing. We also give you the upgrades. Maybe it's going to be, oh, it has grown and it harvests. Holy. So wait a minute, this also used to work in Stoneblock? I didn't know. Then this is the setup that we're going to have. For the moment, let us order 1 stack of these bits, because if that is the case, we're going to need additional resources as well. For example, uranium, and I think fluorite as well for fissile fuel. Here, the recipe for the compact machines is incredibly cheap. Thank you, thank you. We started this at the opportune moment, because I only had 300 uranium left. I have made the seeds that we wanted, and the compact machine that we have is 13 by 13. So I made 26 uranium and 26 fluorite. And yes, we have extra nether quartz. So that goes in the garbage. I don't think we're going to have that many compact machines, but how do we want to place them? I can put one here. Yeah, it's fine. And with our shrinking device, we shall go in. No? Okay. It was just laggy. Oh, you stupid thing, why don't you work? Let's go back. So how do we find the actual card in this spaghetti? It's not in here. Actually, it should be in there. Maybe it's from a different mod, so it's not compatible. So you go there, we give you the dimension card, and do you work? Yes. We do need some space under them so that we would be able to work, so let us place them, I don't know, maybe over here. That is obviously going to be for quartz, fluorite, and uranium. The way that these guys work is that they're going to form a multi-block, meaning that if you give power to one of them, all of them are going to get power. Very slowly. Same goes with water. Yeah, again, very slowly. And obviously ether gas itself. Now we come to the main question. Where does everything go? Seriously, dude. Where does everything go? Yeah, you see, we're not getting extra quartz. Where is it going? Does this mean if you extract from one, you're going to extract from all of them or not? Because that would be lovely. No. I don't really want to place down 200 pipes. Can you push to the left? Yeah, it does seem that I have to use individual pipes. Okay, let me do the piping and I'll be right back. I have hooked up everything to power. All the pipes are there. I added 2 more rows for inferium. And well, we also have the crafters. This crafter is making us fluorite, uranium, and nether quartz. And this crafter is making us insanium blocks. I'm also trying to convert some of our inferium essences into the insanium version, but I ran into another problem. Do you see this ender cell? And do you notice something wrong with that number? Yes, that is our power and it's dropping. I don't know if it's dropping because the reactor is not chunk loaded or it's just dropping. But one thing that I have realized is that every time that these guys work, which could take 2 seconds, is 1000 RF. And that's a ton of RF. Let us say we want to make a few nitro solar panels, which are going to generate us 2000 RF each, just to go along. These are the 2 items that we're missing, including clay. Although judging by this, we are going to still have power for, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 hours. So we should be fine. I should be able to solve it before it reaches 0. Never mind. Power seems to be fine. It seems the reactors were not chunk loaded. Still, I would like to mention, we're not doing great. For the moment, the issue with mystical agriculture has been solved. Let us move along. Blocks. Different blocks. I did add a recipe to the crusher in order to convert cobblestone into gravel, and then gravel into sand, and also wheat seeds because we are getting them in very large and disproportionate quantities in order to make biofuel. But that does not require a crafter, that does require an exporter. I was wondering why nothing is working. I missed the cable. Biofuel is incredibly important for us because if we put it inside a metallurgic infuser, like so, we have Christmas songs from Mechanism. Anyways, if we provide sand to the metallurgic infuser, that's gonna give us dirt. And sand is a renewable resource, so that's good. Therefore, what we should be able to do is to have a pattern that one sand is one dirt. That goes for the metallurgic infuser. Now, one of our main building material is mud. Therefore, we should be able to have another pattern that one dirt equals mud, and that requires a purification chamber. And this is where the stupid plan that I had at the start of the episode actually becomes useful. Because in order to get mud, we need steam or water vapor. And we do have it over here. So we entangle you and we should be able to extract vapor. Yes. I was wondering why it's not going in. This is a chemical injection chamber. My bad. But it's fine. The concept works. Ignore the boo-boo. Here is a basic injecting factory and it's going to make us mud. And the reason that it's not working is that I just forgot to configure the pipes. That's it. Yeah. Perfect. But generally, if you also put mud inside an enrichment factory, what you're going to get is clay. That is going to solve every single block that we're going to need. Apart from the fact that we need to convert it into clay balls, which can be done in the same enriching factory. Yeah. Perfect. Also, if this is possible, maybe we should have a requester over here and set some requests for the blocks that we want. For example, at all times, we want to have 15,000 clay balls. Everything starts working. Yeah, of course, same goes with sand and obviously mud. I have been thinking, the tools that we have been using them since the start of the series. And then I realized Mystical Agriculture has gone through an update and apparently we can have awakened Supremium tools. These guys over here, I don't think they're going to be anything better than our own tools, but let us try to get them. Besides, I do have a feeling that this is something that we're going to need for the Older Mod store. It's just that I don't know where. Also, yes, I have been cleaning up the base. A bit. These are not very horrible recipes. The thing is, you're going to need earth essence, air essence, fire, and water. And these do come from crops and I have already made the seeds and it has been running for a while. It is an upgrade to Supremium. The problem is that it also requires a brand new dust. Cognizant? I think it is going to be dropped by the Wither or the Ender Dragon if we kill them with a Supremium sword. It also has to be enchanted with Mystical Enlightenment. Very confusing, I know. But I have already put everything on auto crafting, so we should be able to at least make, I don't know, a Supremium sword. So, Inferium sword, Prudentium sword, Intermedium sword, Imperium, and Supremium. How much damage do you do? Oh, 24 is not that bad. But the question is, can we turn you into something mythic? I guess it doesn't really matter. We take that one. And let us see if getting that enchantment is going to be easy or not. Huh, you can't enchant this. Since the update, I'm getting the achievements again. It took me ages, but we got one. And it's not just these books. Look at all those swords. So we should be able to put Mystical Enlightenment on our sword. And let us go and kill a few withers. Actually, we also have smite, so let's use that one too. And we don't really have to kill withers like that. Can we turn off this machine? Yeah, we just have to break the shaft. That's it. Let us order one nether star. We should get a wither, and we do it from the back. Hello. Did we get the dust? Oh yeah, we got 6. Perfect. So if that is the case, let's order 20 withers. I don't want to waste time. I'm in a hurry. That went surprisingly well. We have 120 dusts from 10 withers and without any looting. Let us put down the shaft again, because I'm sure that's one of those things that I'm gonna forget. So I'm not exactly sure how this thing works, but I'm assuming it's exactly like the same altar with a few minor tweaks. Ah yes, I did not make a boo-boo. We're going to need only 4 pedestals, like so, and then we're going to need 4 essence vessels. If that is the case, let us take some essence. We put them in the vessels. That's cool. Really cool. I like this mechanic already. Then you're going to need 4 dust, like so. Oh, and a block of redstone. This is exciting. You have to craft a block. You can't craft just 1 essence. But then you can uncraft it. It's also not that expensive. Also, unlike the other one, this is actually very easy to automate. But we do have 36. Let us see what we can craft. Obviously, I don't really want the sword. I just want the pick, the shovel, the axe. The textures looked very fancy, but when you hold it in your hand, it doesn't look that fancy. A bit of a disappointment, but let us make it anyways. Here is the awakened pick. Oh, and every time it eats through the essence. And finally, the shovel. I think the armor should also look very cool, but I like my own armor. It's purple. On your own, do you have a very special ability or something? Okay. You should chop down an entire tree. Nope. Okay, apparently it's just a cool looking unbreakable tool. Well, as you guys probably know, you can make a tinkering table from Mystical Agriculture, you can put your tool inside, and you can apply augments. I have been going through the augments, none of them actually interests me. So I guess the only thing that I have to do is to make them mythic. Blocks dropped will be teleported to you. That is nice. I don't really want torches. Yeah, we go with this one. Well, this is an axe, it's considered a weapon, so it does weird things which I don't really want it to do. I don't really want you to be an excavator, so we don't enchant you. It's just a pick then. Also, now that you're mythic, you're not incredibly fast. Okay, we need efficiency, we need fortune, the usual stuff, which I'm going to take from my old pick. Did you know that when it says that your tool has netherite efficiency against all blocks, it means that it can mine dirt? I didn't know that. So I guess technically speaking, we just need to have a pick, which is epic. One of the issues that I don't have access to the nether is that we don't have lava. So we are going to try and make an infinite lava source in the overworld. And you, my dearest friend, dig. Stop digging. This is hollow. Dig again. Much better. I had to specifically choose this spot because this doesn't go through our underground base. My bedroom is actually right over here. Well, now I have to cover everything. The hole that you see down there, which goes until bedrock, is exactly 136 blocks. It's also a 9x9, so that should be more than 10,000 blocks. And remember, we need 10,000 blocks in order to make an infinite source. There are so many options to fill this guy in, but I think we use create. Why not? Because whatever else I do, it requires piping, it requires power. This one is free. Also, for the moment, we don't really have any production of lava, but that is 1000 buckets. Is it gonna work? I think it's working because these were not there. Well, it does seem to work, but every once in a while, you have to turn the crank. You know, bring it up a little bit, and for it to update, remove the upgrade, and put it back in. But it does place the fluid faster than anything else. I'm actually surprised. Yeah, you see? That's the speed. And we're out. Almost. So now the question is, how do we get the other 9000 buckets of lava? I believe we should be able to use a magma crucible. Thermal expansion has been added, but that is expensive. You, on the other hand, are not the worst. The issue is that yes, you can get it from the laser drill, but you have to place it in the nether. And I don't have a nether. I honestly have no idea if this is a wise plan or not, because if you have the capacity to make 9000 buckets of lava in, I don't know, a few hours, why the hell do you need an infinite lava pool? I know what you're going to say. It's very stupid. The problem is, I like stupid things. So we're gonna do that, and I'm gonna grind. You're the worst tree ever. 5 squeezers are making us blaze powder, 5 of them are making us lava. And this is not a really bad rate. It's a bucket every second, maybe 2 buckets every second. It's 10,000 buckets, so it's gonna take a while. For our next little project, there is something that I want to be able to do. Organic compost. I want to be able to automate the production of rich soil, but not with refined storage. Well, as you guys already know, if you put organic compost on the ground, eventually over time, you're going to get rich soil. I'm really garbage at integrated dynamics, so I thought I'll give it a try. So let's place you down. I'm really assuming we are going to need a block reader, which you cannot right click on it because it does need a cable. You know, it has to be a network. And I guess this is what we want. Block. We just put a variable card. Since I'm a very technical person, I have a portable logic programmer. We come to the block, we put organic compost, we take another variable card, yes, organic compost, and we want them to be equal. So we come here to equal, we say when the block is the organic compost, give me something, hopefully a redstone signal. So this is a redstone writer, here is a redstone lamp, we put the card in, and yes, don't you worry. I'm not that stupid. We do need a variable store and these two go in. Oh, this is no longer the organic compost then. I guess it was changing. Ah, that's interesting, because it can detect the stages. You know, you can just put a constructor and a deconstructor and call it a day. But I thought this is fun. I have a weird definition of fun. I know. Since this is also compost, maybe we should do it next to the sewage. So here's why we need to detect if it's an organic compost or not. That's because if we put one organic compost inside the block breaker, the breaker is just going to break it. But the breaker can be disabled by applying a redstone signal. I just wanted you to know the problem. That's it. The moment that you place down an organic compost, it's no longer going to be the compost. So I think we need to change our program by a bit. We take the variable card for block. It doesn't really matter whatever it is, I guess. Then we make another variable card for rich soil and not the compost. And this time there is a not equal. So whenever the block is not rich soil, we want a redstone signal. And we do have 5 block breakers, so we need 5 variable cards. And I guess that's it. Thank you. The other variable card goes in, and all of the redstone writers are also going to get their variable card. So if we put compost, you shouldn't harvest. Good. But if we put rich soil, are you still emitting a redstone signal? Why? Do you know why it doesn't work? For me, it's a great discovery. For you, you're just probably facepalming. This variable card for the block, which we got it from the block reader, is only reading the block which is standing here. So if we have a rich soil over here, nothing is going to happen. But if we have one over here, it's going to be harvested. Also, here doesn't work, here doesn't work, here doesn't work, but here works. So I think the solution itself is relatively going to be easy. We just need to take these ones out, you know, the 4 that we haven't set yet, and we need to make independent variable cards for each one. I think, I'm not sure. Yeah, that was the problem. So if we place it anywhere, it should harvest it. A bit of a stupid way of doing this, but I like it. Another point is that when you're drying up the compost, there are a few things that you can do in order to accelerate the process. Sunlight will help, water, mushrooms, and of course other organic compost. Other organic composts are next to them, so that's fine. Water is something that I can also put on top, but can we have some potsil? Yes, we can have some potsil. I don't really know if horizontally counts as well, but why the hell not? And of course by horizontally, I meant diagonally. But this is gonna take ages anyways, and we're not in a hurry. I hope. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's also a good time to wrap up the episode. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Till the next one, bye bye. Oh, and by the way, just to let you know, we have 5,000 buckets of lava. That's great. That stupid project might actually work.